did he do which Lord Ram could not do? You have to give a specific example. So many examples, the entire scriptures are filled with examples. Yes, Ravindra bro?
Yes, Prabhu, the same case in Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni.
Yes, very good example. Amrish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni reached Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha. And what did Lord Narayan say? How Lord Narayan responded to him? That Aham Bhakta Paradhina Hi Aswatantra Iva Tuja. Also his Abhigneshu Chartheshu Swarata. But when it comes to devotees, he says Aham Bhakta Paradhina. Very good. What are the other examples? Yes, Dayashil Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Nityananda Prabhuji that the preaching task is very difficult. You can do on my behalf. I mean, some this particular slok is there. There, Lord Chaitanya tells that.
Many times I quoted gone. Amar dushkar karm tomar hoite hoya. That task that which I cannot perform, you can perform. Yes, Pranav, Purushottam Prabhu. Boli.
Prabhuji. Oh, Srila Prabhupada, as he is empowered by his
Lord Chaitanya.
Thakur.
Yeah, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda both. And of course by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached Krishna consciousness till what area? Within India. He never crossed India. This is what the Ramanujacharya disciples came and asked. That who is Srila Prabhupada? When Ramanuja himself could not go and preach outside India, and who is this personality who has come, who has spread Sanatana Dharma all over the world? So who is more powerful than Anuja of Lord Ram? How is it possible? How it became possible? You know Prahlad Maharaj? What benediction did Prahlad Maharaj ask? Narasimhadev? बोलिए. Yes, Sonika?
He asked so that he can never have any desire.
No, that is also there. He said to deliver his father, Hiranyakashipu. Krishna came in the form of Narasimha to kill, to take revenge. But when Prahlad requested, so Lord Narasimhadev said that not only this father, your 21 generations are delivered. So he had to agree with what Prahlad said. Okay, so we'll go forward. So Prabhupada is saying this is not an exaggeration. The Maharaj said that even the denizens of heaven could not escape his stringent government if they were violator of religious principles. He was not falsely proud, for a devotee of the Lord is equally as powerful as the Lord, or sometimes more powerful by his grace. And any promise made by the devotee, though it may be ordinarily very difficult to fulfill, it is properly executed by the grace of the Lord. The Pandavas, by their unalloyed devotional service and full surrender unto the Lord, made it possible for the Lord to become a chariot driver, or sometimes their letter messengers. Such duties executed by the Lord for his devotee are always very pleasing to the Lord, because the Lord wants to render service to his unalloyed devotees, whose life has no other engagement than to serve the Lord with full love and devotion. Maharaj Parikshit, grandson of Arjuna, the celebrated friendly servitor of the Lord, was a pure devotee of the Lord like his grandfather, and therefore the Lord was always with him. Even from the time when he was helplessly lying in the womb of his mother and was attacked by the blazing Brahmastra weapon of Ashwathama, a devotee is always under the protection of the Lord. And therefore the assurance of protection by Maharaj Parikshit could never be without meaning. The personality of religion accepted this fact and thus thanked the king for his being true to his exalted position. Next verse. Navayam klesh bijani yatasyu purusha rishabha purusham tam vijanimo vakya bodha vimohita. So this is the answer to the question. He says, O greatest among human beings, Purusha Rishabha, it is very difficult to ascertain the particular miscreant who has caused our suffering. Because we are bewildered by all the different opinions of theoretical philosophers. Very, very different or unusual reply is coming from religion personified. In our life, if we are having some difficulty, and if someone who has a position, who is the authority, he comes and asks us, who is the cause of your suffering? And what will be our response? What will be our reply? Immediately we will name one or two persons. These are the people who are cause of our suffering. It's because of him or because of her that my life has been ruined or spoiled. He is inflicting me so much of trouble or suffering. And here Maharaj is saying that I know who has inflicted, but just I want to know from you so that I can punish him. And what religion personified is saying? He is saying that I do not know. It is very difficult to ascertain the particular miscreant who has caused our suffering, because we are bewildered by all the different opinions of theoretical philosophers. There are many theoretical philosophers in the world who put forward their own theories of cause and effect, especially about the cause of suffering and its effect on different living beings. Generally, there are 6 great philosophers. Kannada, the author of Vaishashika philosophy, Gautama, the author of logic, Patanjali, the author of mystic yoga, Kapila, the author of Sankhya philosophy, Gemini, the author of Karma Mimamsa, and Vyasadeva, the author of Vedanta Darshan. Although the bull or the personality of religion and the cow the personality of earth knew perfectly well that the personality of Kali was the direct cause of their suffering, still as devotees of the Lord, they knew well also that without the sanction of the Lord, no one could inflict trouble upon them. This is very deep. According to the Padma Puran, our present trouble is due to the fructifying of seedling sins. But even those seedling sins also gradually fade away by execution of pure devotional service. Thus, even if the devotees see the mischief mongers, they do not accuse them for the suffering they inflicted. They take it for granted that the mischief monger is made to act by some indirect cause, and therefore they tolerate the suffering, thinking them to be God-given in small doses. For otherwise, the sufferings would have been greater. Maharaj Parikshit wanted to get a statement of accusation against the direct mischief monger, but they declined to give it on the above mentioned ground. Speculative philosophers, however, do not recognize the sanction of the Lord. They try to find out the cause of suffering in their own way, as will be described in the following verses. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, such speculators are themselves bewildered, and thus they cannot know that the ultimate cause of all causes is the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. So who will respond to this purport? That apparently what is seeming to be the direct cause is not the direct cause. And they declined. Parikshit Maharaj just wanted to hear from both the bull and the cow that their suffering is inflicted by Kali. But they declined to consider Kali to be the cause of their suffering. Why? Why they declined Kali to be the cause of their suffering? Do you find any example where a devotee has declined to accept the direct cause to be the cause of their suffering? Yes, रविंद्र प्रभु एंड प्रियंका माता जी. अभी हमने जस्ट थोड़ा समय पहले ही इसको चर्चा किया है.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा.
Yudhishthir Maharaj never think about the war and all these lives. जो
No,
भी
he was thinking directly he is the reason for his suffering. He was considering himself the cause of his suffering, na?
yes Prabhu.
So then he was leveling his own self. But where someone who has directly inflicted the suffering, terrible suffering, but the devotee has refused to accept him as the cause of suffering. बता. Yes, there, Shilpro.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji, when Srivas Thakur ji was chastised by one Brahmana, then he told that, yes, I am worshipping the demigods. He though he was not worshipping, but still he was taking all the whatever negative abuse was there with himself. He was not chastising the Brahmana himself. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
But still more direct. Yes, Sonika?
Prabhuji, Haridas Thakur was bitten in
अरे इतनी दूर कहाँ जा
the market, 22 markets.
Yeah, why you have to
That
go so far? We have just covered
can
that.
example.
We have just covered that topic. मैं ये देख रहा हूँ कितना ध्यान से पकड़ रहे हैं, कितना नहीं पकड़ रहे हैं. We've just covered that topic. Where this example comes out very prominently to the principle that we are discussing now. Maybe the first canto में ही है. That was in first canto only. Very prominent example. Exactly what we are discussing now. Where the mischief monger has been declined to be considered the cause of suffering. अब तो बोलो, यस प्रणव.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Bhishmadeva was recognizing that all the sufferings and tribulations are due to the Kala.
That is philosophical. Very sad. If you don't answer this question, that means Bhagavatam is not entering. बोलो बोलो. सेम सिचुएशन है जो काउ और बुल की है. द्रौपदी देवी, पढ़ा नहीं हमने? Did we not discuss? Who caused her suffering? Who caused her the most suffering?
Ashwatthama Prabhuji.
Yeah, what he did, he killed the 5 innocent sons. And what she did? She said, release him. She said, release him. I don't want him to be punished or chastised. Actually, if we see as Prabhupada is stating in the purport, we recite this verse, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda. Then, what is the last line? Sarv Karan Karanam. He is not the Sarv Karan. Karan. Huh? So Prabhupada is saying without the sanction of the Lord, how can there be any situation of suffering or tribulation? But a devotee, does a devotee blame the Lord? That you are causing me trouble? Then what is the response of a devotee? We have discussed that in Bhagavad Gita also. How a devotee responds in such a situation? One is actually a devotee. How he responds? What Prabhupada writes in the purport? What is that? How he responds? What is expected from a devotee should be the response. Yes, Dayashil Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, he thinks that because of my past karma or sinful activity, I might have suffered more than what I am suffering now. It is because of the grace of the Lord and I am suffering less.
What is the verse? Very famous verse. बोलिए, आपने हाथ उठाया है. Very famous verse. तत्तेऽनुकम्पा सुसुमीक्षमानो भुञ्जानेवात्मकृतं विपाकम्. Atmakritam vipakam. This is only because of my own misdeeds. Atmakritam vipakam. Whatever is happening is due to because of my own sinful deeds. Ridbhag vapubi vididham namaste. Jive teyo mukti pade sadhaya bhag. He does not allege, he does not accuse, or does not accept or consider anyone else to be the cause of the suffering. That can only become a carrier of the suffering. But the seed of the suffering, this is very important. You see the verse, very deep. The verse says that it is very difficult to ascertain that particular miscreant who has caused our suffering. Here it is. Klesh bijani. Na vayam klesh bijani. That who is the root of the cause of suffering? The root of the cause of suffering is our own sinful activity. Kechud vikalpa vasana ahuratmanam atmana devam anye apare karma swabhavam apare prabhum. Some of the philosophers, those who deny all sorts of duality, declare that one's own self is responsible for his personal happiness and distress. There's a very famous verse in the 11th canto. So, oneself is responsible. Anyone knows the verse? Very, very famous verse from the 11th canto. Okay, we'll discuss it tomorrow. Others say that the superhuman powers are responsible. Yet while others say that the activity is responsible. And the gross materialists maintain that nature is the ultimate cause. So I'm leaving it here with a homework. That please emphasize on the purport, and tomorrow we will have a more depth discussion. Okay. And Pradeep Prabhu, how much of your presentation is done? No, I cannot give you indefinite time. That when you will complete, then we will have the presentation. That cannot be the format of this class.
Prabhuji, 2 more days and
No, what 2 more days? I am giving class tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, you have to present whatever you have done. This is more than sufficient time. And who is next after you? Who has the 14th chapter?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Priyanka.
Yes,
I don't think I have to ask you. You should be ready. She says, see, this is obedience. She will not ask me that, Prabhuji, I need more time. I was so busy. Don't you know I have so much work? And after that work, you are overloading me with some extra work. And then you are asking me to present in your time frame. This is what we have to learn. See what religion personified. We saw Draupadi Devi. She does not consider. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss. So everyone, please be prepared. And we will have a very meaningful discussion on this. Hopefully, Krishna willing. Someone has any question or any discussion? Quickly. Some of you join after 8:30 only. Assuming that I will join late. So you, Manoram joined Priyanka and not Priyanka, Sonika. Dayashila, I am excusing you. You went for treatment. But when I was trying to join, it was saying host has not joined. So I could not join. 3-4 minutes were wasted. No question from your side? Okay, then I'm closing for today. We'll have discussion tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Pradeep, day after tomorrow, you'll present.